Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve simultaneous equations with at least one linear equation by substitution. So basically, let us have the equations 2x plus y equals 5 and x squared plus y squared is equal to 5. So as we can see, the first equation is a linear equation and the second equation is a quadratic equation. So we have one linear and one quadratic equation. So how do we proceed? So the best way to attack these simultaneous equations is to work on the linear equation first and try to isolate either x or the y. Okay, so what do I mean by isolating x and y? So if I get the equation 2x plus y equals 5, isolating x or y means solving for y in terms of x or solving for x in terms of y. So let me show that. So if I see that this is y, okay, so this equation is the same as 5, so y equals 5 minus 2x. And that is done by subtracting 2x on both sides. Okay, some say they will transfer the 2x, okay, but mathematically we're subtracting 2x on both sides. Okay, so once you isolate one of the variables, in this case we isolated y, we now go to the quadratic equation and replace all the y with the expression in terms of x. In this case, 5 minus 2x. So replacing, so it's the same as saying substituting. That is why this method is called solving equations by substitution. Okay, so as we continue, let me show how the quadratic equation will be changed. So we have x squared plus y squared. So x squared plus y squared is equal to 5 as the equation. And now knowing that y is 5 minus 2x, that will allow us to change this y. So this will become x squared plus 5 minus 2x, which is squared equals 5. So from here, you can see that the equation is now reduced to one variable only, and that is in terms of x. So if we simplify this equation, we will be able to solve for the value of x. Let's continue. So just apply algebraic manipulations, proper expansions. So we will have x squared plus, if I have to expand 5 minus 2x squared, that is the same as 5 minus 2x times 5 minus 2x. So this will become 25 minus 20x plus 4x squared. Okay, so I need you to review how to expand a binomial, or at least you should know how to multiply binomials. Okay, in this case you should know how to get this. And then, so we expanded 5 minus 2x squared, and this is equal to 5. After that, we look for similar terms. We have to make this equation more simple. So I can see a 4x squared and an x squared together, that's 5x squared, and then minus 20x. We cannot add anything to it because there's no other x. And then plus 25 is equal to 5. Okay? And again, we can still make this equation simple by subtracting 5 on both sides. So we have 5x squared minus 20x. If I will subtract 5 on both sides, 25 will become 20 and 5 will become 0. Okay, so this is after doing or subtracting 5 on both sides. Okay, so now we could still make this again more simple by dividing both sides by 5, since we have 5, 20, and 20, and 0 all divisible by 5. So this is, so if we divide by 5, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. And then what we can do is we factor x squared minus 4x plus 4, and this will become x and 2 and 2. So this should be negative and negative to get a positive 4, but we also need to consider negative 4x, so they have to be negative, and then equal to 0. So to have x minus 2 and x minus 2 equal to 0, then either this is 0 or this is 0, but basically they're the same, so you can just take one of them. So x minus 2 is equal to 0, and that will give us x is equal to 2. So the value of x that we're looking for is x equals 2. Okay, so finally we look for the value of y by going back to the value or the equation of y in terms of x. So let's make this smaller. Okay, so let's move this here. Okay, then this equation. Okay, so knowing that x is equal to 2, we go back to our y equation, and the y equation is here. It's y is equal to 5 minus 2x. So knowing that y is equal to 5 minus 2x, and that we found the value of x to be 2, then y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 2, which is equal to 5 minus 4. Hence, y is equal to 5 minus 4 equals 1. So the answer is x should be equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. Now, in solving simultaneous equations, there is a way to know if your answer is correct. So all you have to do, let's move this here. So all you have to do is to go back to the original equation or original equations. So we have this 2. We have 2x plus y equals 5. And then x squared plus y squared is equal to 5. So this is how you check. You simply place the known values of x and y and making sure that it will be equal to the number on the other side. So if x is 2, so this becomes 2 times 2 plus 1, which is actually equal to 5. So that means the answer works on the first equation. But it is not enough to test it on one of the equations. You also have to test it on the other equation. So if we place 2 on the x and then 1 on the y, we check if this will be equal to 5. But this is 4 and this is 1 is equal to 5, which is definitely 5 equals 5. So since we were able to show that the numbers really work on the first equation and the second equation, we are very sure that the answers that we got from our computation is correct. Okay, so just to wrap up, whenever you deal with simultaneous equations with one linear and one quadratic, you always work first with the linear, trying to isolate either x or y, and then use that in the second equation, in this case the quadratic equation. The rest of the steps will just follow after you put the corresponding expressions for the y or for the x. Okay, and in the end, don't forget to check if your answer is correct by substituting those numbers in the original equations. Okay, so I hope you understand my explanation. The key here is, if you see something confusing, all you have to do is to play it again, go back to that part of the video, and hopefully by watching it again you'll be able to understand how the things are done here. Okay, so that's all for now. This is solving simultaneous equations with at least one linear equation by substitution.